All right, listen, we need to stop pretending that ability does not matter in a relationship. Someone could be wonderful and capable in many ways, but yet you don't want to trust them in specific ways because ability matters. You can't keep entrusting your emotional, physical, mental, relational well-being to somebody who does not have the ability to show up in the ways that you expect and need in a relationship. We see it all the time. Somebody meets somebody who's loving and kind and fun and honest, and at some point in the dating process, they decide, you know what, I'm going to hit the ultimate trust button, which is marriage, and they get married. But guess what? Marriage takes more than fun, honest, and love. It actually requires some relational abilities to make a marriage work, right? Can they communicate? Can they resolve conflict? Are they resilient under stress? Can they parent your current or future children? Are they financially responsible? Right? Marriages are failing every day because people get into a relationship with somebody who lacks the relational ability to show up in the ways that you're entrusting to them. And so ultimately, trust fails and then the relationship fails. Because we've decided that they're capable over here, so they must be capable everywhere, and that's not the case. I remember for a lot of years I was in ministry, and I'm a good communicator. I'm generally a pretty fun, loving, caring, approachable guy. I'm a counselor, so I'm good at listening and caring for people. And so people would come up to me often and say, hey, if you ever start your own church, let us know. I would love to come. What they didn't realize is you do not want me as your senior pastor. I have a set of skills that makes me good over here, but I lack some of the skills and abilities that it takes to be a great senior pastor. And just because you entrust me over here does not mean you want to entrust me over here. I would have been a terrible lead pastor for them, but we believe, because this is here, that maybe this is here too, and that's not the case. Ability matters when it comes to a relationship. So we've got to stop evaluating our dating relationships by our attachment and our feelings for the person while ignoring our values and their abilities in the thing. That's the whole point of a dating relationship. The dating process is a time for you to vet this person's ability to be a lifelong partner, for them to be the kind of person that you can entrust in the specific areas and the specific needs and expectations you have in a marriage. There are some people that possess some of the skills that would be successful in marriage generally, but they don't possess the ability to be married to you specifically, right? You're unique. You have your own set of values. You have your own issues or perspectives or views based on your personality, based on your upbringing, based on past wounds and trauma. And so being married to you is a completely different thing than being married to just anybody. And so do we want to see if they have some general skills for relationship? Absolutely. But then we also want to evaluate whether they have the ability to be married to you. Do they have the abilities in the areas you need to entrust them in? So let me give you just two thoughts when it comes to evaluating ability in a relationship, because ability matters on whether or not you will be able to trust somebody in a relationship. Thought number one is just ask for proof. Listen, so many times when I talk to singles and I'm asking them questions about the person they're dating, what about in the areas of finances, sexual history, past relationships, and they get squeamish. They're like, well, I mean, yeah, I got a little bit of information in there, but I mean, that's kind of private. Are you kidding me? You're talking about this is a person I may want to entrust my entire life with, and I'm not going to ask whether or not they have the ability to show up in the ways I need to them financially. Listen, there's nothing wrong with asking for somebody's tax returns and credit score if you're planning on marrying them. Listen, I don't care if they black all the numbers out. I don't need to see the numbers on. I just need to know, are you responsible enough? Are you up to date on your tax returns? Do you file them? Do you manage your money? Credit score matters. A partner's credit score will affect your life. I've heard it a million times. Well, we had to put it in my name because they got bad credit. Oh, great. That goes fantastic. Or, yeah, it had to be in their name because my credit's bad. So then everything's in their name. So if something happens in a relationship, you got nothing, right? Credit score matters. If you're paying 22% for an auto loan versus 6% for an auto loan. Yeah, pretty soon, Financial history matters, right? When that person that you decide to marry costs you an extra $1,000 a month because of their bad history and loan repayments and tax liens and all that other stuff, yeah, they get not as fun, not as cute, real quick when they cost you extra money. Finances matter. Sexual history matters. People quit acting like body count doesn't matter. I'm not saying that God cannot redeem anybody with any sexual history. I'm not saying that. I believe that God can. But I also believe that sexual history gives you a pretty good insight into somebody's views on sex, into somebody's, I would say, behaviors around it, into maybe somebody's past trauma and wounds in the area, into somebody's ability to be faithful in a relationship. Now, again, I believe God can redeem anything, but I also know statistically that people with 10 or more partners have higher divorce rates and higher rates of infidelity. So sexual history matters. Past relationships matter. You need to ask for proof. What have your past relationships looked like? Why did they end? How were you in that relationship? So even you run into the person that's like, oh man, they were crazy, and then this person was unfaithful. At some point, every past relationship fail cannot be only because of them. You had nothing to do with any of those, that might be a problem. And let's hypothetically say that's correct. Everybody they were ever with, it was the other person's problem. Well, at least I know you have a problem with picking the right people, and that's a problem, and I need to know about it. So listen, asking for proof when you're trying to evaluate and assess somebody's ability in a relationship is important. If you can't trust them in the areas of finances, sexuality, past relationship, faithfulness, listen, they may not have the ability to be married to you and for you to trust them in the areas you need to entrust them. So ask for proof. It's okay. Thought number 2 would just be, I would say, assess suitability. Suitability for you. Now, if you've watched any of my videos, you already know I don't believe in soulmates. There's this one person out there that God created and your mission is to find the one. I don't believe in all that stuff. I believe we make decisions on who we want to be married to, but I also believe that there are some people who are suitable for you and not suitable for you, more suitable for you and less suitable for you, depending on whether or not they have the ability to be trusted in the specific areas that you will need to entrust. So you need to assess, are they able to deliver in the areas you need them to deliver? And they may be great in these areas over here, but in a marriage with you, they may need to be great in these areas and they don't possess that ability, right? I just went to the dentist last week. She seemed to be hardworking, kind, very capable, but I ain't going to trust her to do my knee surgery, right? You can stay in my mouth. That's what you know. You get to work on the teeth. That's all you get to work on. So if I needed to entrust that person for some other part of my body, that's not the person I want to entrust. And too many of us are allowing the halo effect to cause us to believe because they're so great over here, they must be great everywhere. Just because somebody is honest, kind, fun, caring for you does not mean they have the ability needed for you to be able to trust them in a long-term relationship. Ability matters when it comes to trust. And if you can't trust them in specific areas that you need to trust them in because they are not capable and don't have the ability, that is going to ruin trust in a relationship. If you don't have trust in a relationship, you will not have intimacy or connection. So let me say it one last time. Ability matters, and you need to assess a person's ability in the specific areas that you need to be able to entrust to them and they need to be able to deliver on. Let me get off my soapbox now. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Drop a comment below. If you haven't downloaded our free guide to intimacy, you'll see a link in the description area below. Grab that. Evaluates 4 areas of intimacy in a relationship and how you can strengthen it. And if you have not watched the video where I talk about the 5 essentials of trust from Henry Cloud's book, Name Trust, you can check out that. It'll be right here in the end screen of this video, and I'll see you next time.